Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elite Weather Forecasting. My name is Mr. G. I'm your meteorologist, and I am a student at Mississippi State University pursuing a degree in meteorology right now. I'm about halfway through my program, but I just want to let you guys know that Mr. G is feeling under the weather today, but I've got to be here for you because I'm excited about the events that's taking place down across the Southwest as we are tracking a hurricane off the coast of Mexico right now. That hurricane is named Hilary, and it has winds of about 145 miles per hour. It is a Category 4 hurricane, and it has its eyes set on Southern California and the desert Southwest. Pretty interesting, but yes, we're going to talk more about that and clarify things as we have the latest updates from the National Hurricane Center regarding Hurricane Hilary. Our area of the day is Zion National Park in Utah. Boy, I love the western U.S. I love the national parks, Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Glenwood Springs, Rocky Mountain National Park, Glacier National Park. I just love the geologic national parks, Yellowstone. You do know I minor in geoscience, which is kind of like geology. So this also is another part of my educational journey here, is studying the Earth's surface and geologic features here on planet Earth. Because combined, I'm going to be sort of working in planetary science. So, yeah, this is just beautiful. You can see those clouds out there. Those monsoon thunderstorms are in the forecast for portions of the Four Corners again today. And we got a little bit of enhancement in the moisture in the air from hurricane down south in Mexico and an area of low pressure off the coast of California that's sending some moisture across the deserts as well, especially across Utah, Nevada, and Northern California. So we can see some enhanced rainfall rates in some of those monsoon thunderstorms. But let's talk about our hurricane and the weather forecast for the rest of the nation, and a chance for me to catch my breath. So as we move on with the rest of our weather forecast, we're going to be starting off with the tropical update today, and we're going to be dealing with our hurricane out here over the off the coast of Mexico. This is Hurricane Hilary with winds of about 145 miles per hour, and there is our this is our visible image of what Hurricane Hilary looks like. A very well-formed hurricane with a well-defined eye. This is a Category 4 storm. We do see a complete circulation of convection here. We see some convection down to the southwest and over to the northeast. And this is going to be our area of concern that we're going to pay close attention to as Hurricane Hilary makes landfall approaching the southwestern coast of California. Again, this is our water vapor imagery, and we can see that there's a lot of moisture associated with this hurricane, and it's spreading rain showers along the Baja California, as well as our storm makes its northwesterly track toward the southwest. And here is our forecasted path, and check this out. It is forecasted to be a tropical storm well into Southern California, so it still will be tropical storm strength. So that means the winds will be at least 40 miles per hour, and we're going to be seeing very heavy rainfall and some thunderstorms as well. So a very interesting scenario here. Now my question is, at what point, now here just south of San Diego, Tijuana, and off the coast of northern Baja, it's still a hurricane status on Sunday at 6 p.m. It will still be at hurricane status. But at what point will it drop from hurricane status to tropical storm status? Could it still be Category 1 hurricane status as it crosses the border over Mexico and into San Diego? Could it be possible that San Diego gets hit by a hurricane? We will definitely be tracking that because it is certainly possible. Possible. I can't believe I'm even saying this. This is the first time in recorded history since we've been doing this in meteorology across the United States that this has happened. This is absolutely amazing. This will be a fairly strong tropical storm, and how much weaker will it have gotten by the time it gets into right in that area? This is our cone of uncertainty. So basically, this storm could end up in could be any between this white line here, could be where our storm comes on shore. Will it come on shore near Long Beach, Huntington Beach, Santa Monica? Or will it cross over Baja and come up through like Mexicali or the Inland Empire or the deserts of Southern California? So all of those things will need to be watched and monitored. And this forecast has changed several times. The last forecast had this as tropical depression. Now it's back up to be a tropical storm. Oh, I cannot even believe I forgot to mention this. The National Weather Service has issued a tropical storm watch for Los Angeles, Orange, and San Diego counties for the first time ever. Tropical storm watch for Southern California, LA, Orange County, and San Diego counties for the first time ever. Ever. Never have the National Weather Service issued tropical storm watch for Southern California. Amazing. Whether it pans out or holds together, just the fact that the National Weather Service has issued a tropical storm watch for Southern California is unbelievable. Okay, so let's move on with the rest of the weather forecast. Here's our current temperatures across the country right now. It's still really hot down there, even this early part of the day. It's about the noon hour right now. As the time I'm recording this video, by the time I get it edited and posted, it might be a couple of hours later. But here we are with that triple-digit heat down here across the Texas area. And we're seeing those 90s, maybe near 100 along the Gulf Coast, down through Florida, and then across the southeastern U.S. from the Carolinas and Georgia. So we're seeing those temperatures in the 90s over that region. But check out the high plains here. Parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, and then North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. So those temperatures are starting to heat up as we have high pressure building in from the west, and we're starting to see those temperatures in the triple digits there across the high plains states. And here we are as we talk about our radar right now. So pretty dry across most of the country. We do have some showers and storms up here across New England, and we have a few thunderstorms developing here over the Four Corners. We got some thunderstorms there over Arizona and through parts of Utah, a few isolated thunderstorms, and we have, of course, our showers and storms up there across Canada right now. So fairly quiet across most of the country, and we do have a couple of spots that's seeing a little bit of wet weather right now, but for the most part, enjoy dry day. Here is our hurricane down here off the coast, the tip of Baja California. And here is our current alerts and advisories by the National Weather Service. It's still pretty hot down here in Texas. We have our excessive heat warning here across central Texas. We have a heat advisory, and this is a heat watch here across the Central Plains states of the Midwest, and we have our heat advisory extending all the way up to the Canadian border through the Dakotas and parts of Montana. A red flag advisory across the northern Rockies there along the border. And here is our flood watch across the desert Southwest. Tropical storm watch. Tropical storm watch right here. California, LA, San Diego, Orange County. Tropical storm watch in effect until further notice by the National Weather Service. This will eventually get upgraded to a tropical storm warning, and they could also issue, excuse me, I'm getting excited and making myself cough. Trust me, I'm sick as a dog, and it's taking great energy and strength to do this for you guys. I wouldn't be surprised to see a hurricane watch posted. There is also a hurricane statement they already have up, but a hurricane watch at least, I would, especially for San Diego, it's highly possible. It's possible that the San Diego, Chula Vista, close to Tijuana, the Mexican border, the storm could still be Category 1, maybe borderline tropical storm as it crosses the border from Mexico to the United States. And if it enters the U.S. as a hurricane, no matter whether it's at 74 miles an hour or higher, that will be historic because it will be the first hurricane ever to make landfall on the southwestern United States in California. The first time ever. So we definitely going to be monitoring this situation. Okay, so here is our weather forecast for the remainder of the day. We got high pressure here across the Midwest, and that high pressure is pulling up a lot of heat from the southwest, and we're going to be seeing a lot of dry weather here across the upper Midwest and in the Great Lakes and down through the southeast and along the Gulf Coast and across the state of Texas. We'll see some monsoon thunderstorms over the Four Corners and the southwest as well, and we're going to be seeing that heat extend across the high plains today. And we're going to see the same for that weather forecast for your day tomorrow. That heat expanding across to Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas and the upper Midwest. And then towards the Great Lakes, we're going to see temperatures in the 80s and stuff, but we're going to start to see 90s and 100s across the high plains. There is a hurricane getting ever so closer to the desert Southwest, coming right up the coastline. It's almost a perfect scenario to get a hurricane. This is exactly what it needs to do. It needs to hug the coastline and move quickly and be strong enough from the get-go. This is a Category 4 hurricane. Say it reaches Category 5, is still strengthening, is still in favorable area for strengthening. So if it reaches Category 5 and continues on its current track, there's a possibility that it could make it to Southern California to the border still as a hurricane. So, I mean, God, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, there we are with that hurricane that we're monitoring right now. And here we go for your Sunday forecast. There it is as it gets ever so closer. Tropical storm Hilary is going to start to spread rainfall. We're going to see a very heavy rainfall moving to the desert Southwest, California, as well as into the Sierra Nevada, up into Nevada as well. And we can see some moisture make it all the way into Montana and Idaho. And that moisture even could make it over into Minnesota as it gets caught up along that. This area of high pressure is going to grab some of that moisture and it's going to circulate over the top of that ridge of high pressure. So we can see some of the moisture from Hilary move across the northern Rockies and into the high plains and maybe even into Canada as we move into next week and through next week. So once Hilary fizzles as a tropical system, its moisture will still impact the United States and maybe even Canada into next week. So we won't be done with the impacts of Hurricane Hilary anytime soon. That's going to play a role in the forecast for some days to come. And then we can see some showers and storms down here off the coast of Florida as we're going to be having a tropical wave make its way across the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to watch this one because Some models are indicating some tropical development here south of Houston, Texas, and maybe off of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico there. So we could be watching for a tropical system. And I even saw a couple of models that indicated a hurricane there, but that fizzled away. But that was there temporarily. And then here is our next day as we take a look at Monday and Tuesday. This is your Monday forecast. Now as our tropical system makes landfall in Southern California, a tropical storm hitting Southern California. God, unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, tornadoes are going to be possible as well, especially along the coastal section and some of the western facing mountainous areas. Down at the valleys, we can see tornado development. So definitely very interesting. Heavy rain, some places, if we see heavy rain, some areas out in the deserts are going to receive more rainfall from Hilary than they received in an entire year. Palm Springs, Blythe receives about 4 to 5 inches of rain per year. They can see that just from this one tropical system. They can see as much as 7 inches of rain. We're looking at 10 to 15 inches of rain through parts of the Southern California mountains. We can see 3 to 5 inches of rain near the LA Basin area and along the coast. And we're going to see winds up to 65 miles per hour, even stronger if we have a higher grade tropical storm, if it's still closer to hurricane status and hasn't weakened to the point that it's not a weaker tropical system. I mean, a lot remains to be seen here. A lot of things have to fall into place, and this super El Nino is certainly will benefit this tropical system. And I'm willing to say that El Nino has played a role in the uptick in tropical systems in the Pacific. The tropics in the Pacific has been very active. We have tropical storm. We had Hurricane Dora, which was responsible for the fires in Hawaii. We had a couple of other hurricane or tropical storm in between Dora and Hilary. So it's been very active. I mean, we're already on H. I think in the Atlantic, we haven't had even 4 named storms yet, systems. I think we've only had 3 named systems, and none have been hurricanes. They've been low-grade tropical storms in the Atlantic. So been relatively quiet in the east, but very active in the west. So again, very active weather tonight. Here are some temperatures that we're going to be looking at today. Look at that heat down here across the state of Texas again. It's almost 40 days, consecutive days of triple-digit heat across central Texas. So it's been very hot along the Gulf Coast, hot across the southeast. Those temperatures in the 90s, and we're going to be seeing those triple-digit temperatures all the way up to near the Canadian border. And we're going to be seeing those temperatures inching to the 90s across the upper Midwest, Minnesota, and maybe Wisconsin. But we're going to see 80s in the Great Lakes, and we're going to see those 80s and 70s across the Northeast. But here out on the West, we're going to see those triple digits in the Southwest, but it will be cooler with clouds and rain from our tropical system moving up from Mexico. Again, as we take a look at Saturday's forecast, the heat will expand across into the upper Midwest. Those 90s, looking at 96 in Minneapolis, so it's going to get hot. So we're going to be seeing those 100s all the way into Kansas, Nebraska, and even into South Dakota, where it's going to be 102 degrees up there in South Dakota. So we're going to be seeing that heat expand. Here is your Monday weather forecast. Again, continue hot across the center of the country. Triple-digit heat once again. Those 90s across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. And we're going to see 80s and 90s start to snake its way into parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Again, let me get my clicker to work. Come on, clicker. Here is our severe thunderstorm outlook for today. Severe thunderstorms, a marginal risk for severe storms here across the Four Corners, southeastern California and Arizona, and then up here across Montana, and maybe way up there in New England, we have a marginal risk for severe weather. And down here across the Southwest, our primary threat is going to be heavy rain and damaging winds. That rain could cause some flash flooding down here across the four corners. And then tomorrow, no severe weather expected, but severe, isolated severe is always possible. But you do see we have a very large area of general thunderstorms to be expected across the four corners, and much of the Intermountain West. We're going to be seeing some thunderstorms with isolated severe storms possible. And again, down there across the state of Florida in the southeast, some thunderstorms are going to be possible. So a good portion of the country, about 60% of the country, is going to be dry for your day tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we're going to be seeing that severe threat start to increase across California and western Arizona, because our hurricane is going to be getting closer. So our tropical system will be inching closer and will be just south of the border on Sunday as a Category 1 hurricane still. So our hurricane will be beginning to affect the Southwest and bringing that heavy rain and that flooding. And so, but it's going to be quiet elsewhere, with the exception of some storms down there across the state of Florida, as we will have a tropical wave in the area that's going to be spreading some showers down over that region. Here is a broad look at the Atlantic Basin and the Pacific and the U.S. As you can see, I'm going to stand right here. We can see the tropical Atlantic there. That's the intertropical convergence zone over the Atlantic. And we can see a couple of tropical waves making its way towards South America. There is Hurricane Hilary along the Mexican Riviera, and that is going to be moving right up off the tip of Baja California and making its way due north into Southern California. Unbelievable. And then we have another potential tropical development here off the coast of Nicaragua and Honduras, so we could be watching that guy. So I don't know, will we get a repeat? So it remains to be seen. We gotta watch and see, wait and see. A lot of meteorology is waiting and seeing. All right, so that is your weather forecast for today. My name is Mr. G, under the weather once again. I've been sick a lot this summer. So me and my wife, though, we've been just passing it back and forth. I don't understand. We gotta do something, maybe clean this house or do something so we're not sick, because she starts school next week. So, well, she starts her preparations for her students to come back, because she's a high school teacher. So, you know, I don't know. She spent most of the summer sick, so I feel bad for her. I feel sorry for that, and I hope that she gets better soon. So thank you for watching me. That is your weather forecast today. Bye-bye, guys.